Just 1 mile from downtown Greenville, there's a neighborhood that feels like you've stepped into the city's past. Tree-lined streets, front porches, historic homes with character you just can't build today. But here's the thing, North Main Street isn't just pretty, it's one of the most loved places to live in Greenville. Today I'm going to walk you around the North Main Street area so you can see what life is really like here. We're going to look at homes, the streets, the spots locals walk to, and what makes this area feel so different from newer neighborhoods around town. If you're thinking about moving to Greenville, or you just want that classic neighborhood feel close to downtown, this area keeps coming up again and again. And by the end of this video, you'll know if North Main is one of those places you should have on your list. Let's get into it. What's up everyone, I'm Brian O'Neill, also known as the Tattooed Agent, and on this channel, I take you all around Greenville, South Carolina so you can see exactly what it's really like to live here. We explore neighborhoods, communities, homes, and local spots so you can decide which areas might fit your lifestyle best. So if you're thinking about moving to Greenville or you just love learning about the area, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next neighborhood tour. All right, so today we're here on North Main Street in Greenville. This area sits just north of downtown, and one of the first things people notice is how close everything feels. You can be in the heart of downtown in just a few minutes, but when you're here, it feels calm, established, full of history. North Main is one of Greenville's older neighborhoods, so the homes here have a lot of character. You'll see classic brick houses, bungalows, traditional two-story homes, and some updated properties mixed in. Many of these homes were built decades ago, and that's a big part of the appeal. Mature trees, wide lots, and streets that feel made for walking instead of just driving through. Another reason why people love North Main is the lifestyle. This isn't a neighborhood where you just pull into the garage and go inside. You'll see people walking dogs, kids riding bikes, neighbors talking in the front yards, and folks heading toward coffee or local spots nearby. It has that connected neighborhood feel that many buyers moving to Greenville are hoping to find. Location is a big part of the draw too. From here, you're just minutes to downtown Greenville, Unity Park, the Swamp Rabbit Trail, shopping, dining, and events. So you get the charm of an established neighborhood without giving up convenience. The mix is hard to find, which is why homes here tend to stay in demand. So let's talk about the anatomy of a North Main home and street, because this is one of the things that really defines the neighborhood. First, look at the street itself. North Main streets tend to be a little bit wider than the newer neighborhoods because this community is so old that, they didn't have narrow streets like they do in the new subdivisions. They were built for neighborhood living. That's why you see cars parked along the curb, people walking, and homes that feel close enough to create a sense of community without feeling crowded. Now, let's take a look at the trees. One of the biggest features of North Main is the mature tree canopy. These trees have been here for decades, sometimes close to a century. They create shade, they frame the homes, and they give the streets that established Greenville feel that people love. In newer neighborhoods, you just can't recreate this right away. It takes time, and North Main already has it. Next is the lot size and layout. Many North Main homes sit on wider lots than what you typically see in the newer subdivisions. You'll often notice deeper front yards, homes set back from the street. The space gives the homes presence. It also creates room for landscaping, gardens, and outdoor living that feels private but still connected to the street. Now let's look at the homes themselves. North Main has a mix of architectural styles, but there are some common patterns. You'll see classic brick ranches, multifamily, bungalows, traditional two-story homes, and some early 1900s styles mixed in. Many of these houses were built in the 1940s and 50s and 60s. With some older and some newer construction blended in, that mix is part of what keeps the neighborhood interesting. No two streets feel exactly the same. Now, another key feature is the front porch. In North Main, porches matter. They face the street, not the backyard, and that design encourages interaction. People sit outside, wave to neighbors, and stay connected to what's happening around them. It's a small design choice that shapes how the neighborhood feels day to day. You'll also notice driveways. Instead of front-facing garages in many spots, older homes often have side driveways or detached garages set farther back. That keeps the front of the home focused on windows, porches, and architecture instead of garage doors. It makes the streetscape feel more residential and less like a row of parking spaces. Another part of the anatomy is the renovation and evolution. Many North Main homes have been updated over time. You'll see original homes next to renovated ones, and sometimes you'll see new builds that match the scale of the area. The key thing is most new construction here respects the lot size and street pattern. So the neighborhood keeps its character even as it changes. Sidewalks are another piece worth noticing. Many North Main streets have sidewalks, one at least on one side, sometimes both. That supports walking, which ties back to the lifestyle here. People walk dogs, push strollers, jog, and move through the neighborhood on foot. That movement is part of what makes the area feel alive. And finally, spacing between the North Main homes aren't packed tight like some modern builds, but they're also not spread far apart. There's a comfortable middle ground, enough space for privacy, but close enough that the neighborhood feels cohesive instead of isolated. So when you put all of that together, mature trees, wider lots, porches facing the street, mixed architecture, sidewalks, and homes set back from the road, you get the classic North Main look and feel. It's a layout design long before modern subdivisions, and that's exactly why so many people are drawn to it today. As we keep walking, you'll start to see how these elements repeat from street to street, even though each block still has its own personality. Like we talked about earlier on in the video, North Main has a variety of homes. They've got multifamily, single family homes, your traditional two-story, remodeled, bungalows, stuff like that. This first one that I'm going to show you is over here on Druid Street. It is 1,000 square feet, just a hair over 1,000 square feet, selling at about $357 per square foot, listed at $320,000. So this kind of gives you an idea, okay, of what you might be looking at in that $300,000 to $400,000 range over here in the North Main area. It's going to be, you know, a single story. If it's a two-story, that's going to be a tight home, but most of them are going to be that single story, almost bungalow type look. It's going to be about 700 square feet to maybe 1,500 square feet, but you are going to be in that $300,000 to $400,000 price range. And where this one is located, we've only got sidewalks on one side of the street, as you can see. You know, no sidewalks on this side, okay? Now, as you can see, the majority of the homes on this side are the single story, probably in your 700 to 1,500 square feet range, okay? You do have a sidewalk on one side, but this is just a glance at what this area on North Main, the very edge of North Main, the style of homes here. Again, you got a good variety. But again, you're on the outskirts of the North Main, you know, quote unquote subdivision area. And for this price point, the $300,000 to $400,000, this is what you're looking at, almost like a single story, that 1,000 square feet to maybe 1,500 square feet. It's either going to be a 2-1, 2-2, or maybe even a 3-1. So that just gives you an idea of some of the properties within that $350,000 or that $300,000 to $400,000 range. So some of the luxuries that you get on the interior streets right off of North Main give you sidewalks on both sides, whereas this one, this is, you know, an older single story home type feel over here on Druid Street. But again, if your budget's between $300,000 and $400,000 and you're looking at North Main, this is what you're going to get. It's going to be that single story, you know, 700 to maybe 1,500 square feet if you're lucky, because if it's that 1,500 square feet and it's been fully renovated, you might be looking at prices over $400,000. So let's go to the next stop. All right, so we're still in the North Main area. We're just a couple streets over from where we were just at, and you're going to see the price difference from just going a couple streets over and the square footage and just the overall feel on this side of town. So this one that's for sale, it's over on North Avondale. It is a 2.5, about 2,375 square feet. So that's around $337 a square foot. But again, you can see, you know, it's that single story look. You know, it does have a 1-car garage. But again, this side over here on Avondale, which is closer to the North Main Street side, has sidewalks on both sides of the street. And you can see a lot of the homes in this area are pretty similar, okay? That single story feel with sidewalks on both streets, you know, your established trees, and that's the overall feel for the North Main area. Now, obviously it's gonna be a little bit different on back streets, but you know, this gives you an idea of once you get closer to that North Main side, more square footage, the price is gonna go up. And so that's our second house that we looked at that's for sale currently right now in the North Main area. Now let's go check out our third one. All right, guys, so we are at our third stop today over here in the North Main area, and this one is on West Mountain View Avenue. This street's a little bit different. It does stretch from North Main to Rutherford Road. However, as you can see, you know, this is one of those streets over here on North Main where there's no sidewalks, okay? And so that's not a bad thing. You've still got wide streets, plenty of parking everywhere here on the street. But the one that we're gonna see is this bad boy is a brand new construction, fully custom built. It is a 5.5, 3-car garage, 4,700 square feet, listed for 1.95. And so that's this one right here. And obviously you can see there's some more custom homes being built on this street, but you do have a good variety of custom built homes and older homes on this street. And again, just because there's no sidewalks on the street, it's not a big deal because the streets themselves are wide enough for people to walk on. You know, it's not like a new construction where you're having trouble parking on the street and getting cars through. There's plenty of room here on West Mountain View Avenue. And again, custom built homes. This one right here behind us, 1.95. It is a 5.5, 4,700 plus square feet with a 3-car garage. Custom built and everything, 1.95 here in the North Main area. Let's head to our next one. All right, so we're at our third house today over here on North Main. This one's on Earl Street. Earl Street is a very popular street. It is basically the first street on both the right and the left side once you get on North Main and you cross over Stone Avenue. Earl Street extends all the way from Rutherford Road to Wade Hampton. This one that is for sale, just found out it's contingent, is a 3.5, 2-car garage, about 2,835 square feet, built in 2000. So you're looking at 395,000 a square foot, but this is a, you know, a 2.2, has a 2-car garage in the back, beautiful house. But this one's listed for 1.125 million. So you can kind of see that once we get over here on the Earl Street side, we start looking at some of these homes. You know, you're gonna start paying upwards of $1 million plus for these homes over here on Earl Street. Now, as you can see behind me, we've got a sidewalk on both sides of the street on Earl Street. So a lot of people on this side of town do a lot of jogging, do a lot of walking, kids are out playing. But this is our third stop today, and again, this one is a 3.5 with a 2-car garage, built in 2000 at about $395 a square foot, listed and under contract at 1.125 million. All right, let's head to the next one. All right, here we are on the West Hillcrest Drive area over here in North Main, and this one that we're looking at right now is listed for 1.75 million. It's a 5-bedroom, 3 full bath, 2 half baths, around 4,300 plus square feet with a 2-car garage. And again, it's listed for 1.75. And again, we're over here on North Hillcrest Drive. It's this brick ranch right behind me. Beautiful house, beautiful finishes inside. And again, this area over here on West Hillcrest, you can see it's just a little bit different. You know, sidewalks only on one side of the street, full sidewalks on the other. And again, it's a great area. It's a good mix of older homes, and then you've got some, you know, custom built or some that have been upgraded over the years. Again, 2-story homes right here, all brick, fully updated, beautiful homes. And again, your tall, mature trees, everything that you're looking for over here in North Main. So that is just a sample of what we see for sale here in the area over here off of North Main. And again, you have a variety, whether it's multifamily, single family, 2-story, bungalow, fully custom built, or anything like that. North Main has everything to offer. So let's go to our next stop. All right, so now that you've seen what North Main looks like, let's talk about the pros and cons of living in this community, because every neighborhood has both. Let's start with the pros, and the biggest one is location. North Main sits just north of downtown Greenville, so you're only minutes from restaurants, shopping, parks, and events. You get quick access to everything the downtown offers without living right in the middle of traffic and noise. For many buyers, that balance is a huge win. Another major pro is character. Homes here have personality, mature trees, established streets, unique architecture, and a sense of history you just don't get in newer construction neighborhoods. People who want charm and authenticity tend to land here first. Now, the next pro is community feel. North Main has the classic neighborhood vibe. People walk, talk, sit on porches, and spend time outside. It feels connected. That's something many people moving to Greenville are hoping to find, especially if they're coming from areas where neighborhoods feel less personal. Walkability is another strong positive. You can walk the streets, reach nearby spots, and enjoy the area without always getting in your car. That lifestyle piece matters more to buyers now than it did years ago, and North Main checks that box. Now let's talk about the cons, because they're real too. The first is price. Because of location and demand, North Main homes often cost more than similar size homes farther from downtown. Buyers pay for proximity and character here, so your dollar may not stretch as far on square footage compared to newer suburban areas. Another consideration is age of the homes. Many houses here were built decades ago. That means maintenance, updates, and repairs can come with ownership. Even renovated homes may still carry the realities of older construction, like smaller closets, older layouts, or ongoing upkeep. Parking in driveways can also be tighter in some spots. You'll see street parking in smaller driveways compared to modern subdivisions. It's part of the historic layout, but it can take getting used to. And finally, traffic on North Main Street itself can be busier than interior streets, since it's a main route in and out of downtown. The neighborhood streets stay quiet, but the main road does carry daily flow. So when you weigh it out, North Main really comes down to lifestyle preference. If you want charm, location, walkability, and established neighborhood feel, the pros are strong. If you want newer construction, larger homes for the price, and lower upkeep, you might lean toward newer communities outside the city core. That trade-off is exactly why North Main attracts a certain type of buyer, and why people who choose it tend to love it long term. All right, so that gives you the real look at North Main here in Greenville. You've seen the streets, the homes, the feel of the neighborhood, and what makes this area stand out from so many others around town. North Main really comes down to lifestyle. If you want to be closest to the downtown area, live in an established area, and have that classic neighborhood feel with characters and charm, this community checks a lot of boxes, and that's exactly why it stays in demand year after year. So if you're thinking about moving to Greenville and the North Main area feels like it could fit for what you're looking for, the best next step is seeing what's actually available here right now, because inventory in this area tends to stay tight and homes can move quickly. So if you want to see the current homes for sale in North Main, learn prices, or figure out if this neighborhood fits your goals, reach out to me directly. I help people relocate and buy all over the Greenville area, and I'm always happy to help you explore your options and find the right fit. If this deep dive into North Main resonated with you, if you're curious about other Greenville neighborhoods like the Arts District, Augusta Road, or the suburbs, then hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. We drop new videos every week all about living, loving, and relocating to Greenville. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What's your favorite street or feature in North Main? What other Greenville neighborhoods should we profile next? Are you considering a move to Greenville? What questions do you have? Your input literally guides what we film next, so let's talk. And if you found this video helpful, the best way you can support this channel is to share it with someone else who's Greenville curious.